Welcome back to the STG ice sheet, you beautiful people. Now, I've been having a think, which is always a dangerous thing for me to do. We are doing very well. Not like exceptionally well, but we are doing very well nonetheless. So what I am thinking is, if we go into options, we go Storyteller setting, we are running parry persistent, and it is custom, and I believe it is blood and dust. So let's change this to losing is fun. The only tweaks we make is colonist mood plus 10, because I don't like all of the babysitting. Colonist insta-kill down to 0%. It does mean they can bleed out, they still die, don't worry, we have lost people already. And then enemy death on down is 65%. Now this is going to mess up our yields by quite a bit. And the threat scale is now 220%. Now let's move that up to 300. Actually, tell you what, let's make it 310. So the raids coming in, well, 311. Let's not be pedantic. So the raids coming in are going to be twice the size. We're going to get less shield. We're going to get less resources. More chance of infections. We won't get as much from butchering. Blah blah blah. All of those fun stuff. So pretty much everything's the same, other than we're not going to get as many things. And when we get attacked, they are going to be twice the size they were in last episode, which I think is going to add quite a lot of fun to this playthrough. It is a lot of fun so far for me, I'm thoroughly enjoying it, but I would like something a little bit more challenging, because when it comes down to it, Rimworld is... the best stories in Rimworld come out of everything going completely wrong. When you get off into space, you know, yeah, it's a nice achievement, but that is not as fun as, I don't know, you guys starving to death and you only have a couple people left and then they have to start eating each other. Yeah, they make the better stories. So that's what we're going to go for. We're going to make this a little bit more challenging. We'll see how we do. If we are still doing particularly well, then we will scale it once more. As for the plan for this episode, these walls along here are done. We do need to start getting these outside walls transformed into the heavy granite reinforced walls. And we also, as we keep forgetting, this area here needs to be tunneled out, and what we are going to do is we are just going to pile in a whole bunch of stone extractors, which will be mainly Terra's job. Terra's going to go in, mine up a whole bunch of granite, and then we are just going to be able to break it down nice and rapid like. Seeing as these 6 chunks of granite, well look, 9, there's another 3 somewhere, are the last ones on the map. So kind of need to do something about that. And we got a few little bugs running around. Not a big issue. So what I'm thinking is this is going to be a production room, and the way these turrets were set up did work out okay for us. Now if we kind of just hug the wall a little bit, these turrets should be able to shoot across themselves quite well. This turret will need to move down, so let's do that now. So I think it would need to be about there. That's going to be a good place for it. Then we can wall this off, and then that also means we're going to be able to chuck some more autocannons into these areas, and we're going to have even more killing power, which is going to be great because we know we're going to need it. So we had 3 centipedes show up on the last mechanoid raid, and that was a little while ago, and we're also now just doubled the threat scaling, so we're probably going to get like 8 centipedes next time we get attacked by the mechanoids. And then we'll also have things like siege breakers, Goliaths, and pikemen. Now in vanilla, pikemen are not dangerous at all. You don't worry about pikemen. They kind of show up. As soon as you're in any armor, they can't get through it. You don't worry, it's all cool. Combat extended. Pikemen are super dangerous. They stay way back, and then they just shell you with mortars. Kind of the reason why a lot of our defenses are spread out. I'd like them to have grouped together so that we can have like concentrated fields of fire. But in combat extended, you start grouping things together and then the mechanoids show up, you are in a serious amount of trouble. Okay, got a little bit optimistic. I was hoping that would be granite under here, but it's not, it is marble. Now, what might be worth checking is if we go into the reinforced walls and then we put a marble wall here. Terra, if you would kindly get onto this. And I want to see what is the hit points difference between the granite reinforced walls and then the marble reinforced walls. Because if it isn't a massive amount, so that's 1080, yeah, that's 500 hit points different. That is not a thing. Okay, we're going to need to find some granite and then start drilling from there. The nearest granite section to us is along here, so I think we try to extend the wall across, and then we come back. Two things that would be good for is, firstly, we don't have drills in our base, so if bugs show up, they are going to be over there instead of in here. And secondly, well, granite is just better than marble. Both got their uses, but right now granite is something that we need more than we'd need marble. And it's not going to be too long until Paddock frees himself up a little bit, and then we're going to have him on the drills as well, and they are going to go crazy quick. Now this is going to slow down the traffic, well, the travel time from there to there. I was hoping that would be in there, so it'd be nice and quick, but I think just having a steady supply of granite chunks is going to be pretty sweet, and with the amount of doges that we have, we should be good. Now let's get everyone back onto unrestricted who can go out, and then that is just going to help with the hauling as well. This is something I didn't think I would need to do on the ice sheet. We now need to put coolers in because the doggo's room, because it's only -10 outside now, has got too warm because it is next to our hydroponics and the geothermal, so it's warming up quite quickly. And I imagine that insect meat being there isn't helping either. So yeah, we've had to install coolers to keep this area cold, so we don't spoil all of the meat and all of the things that we're bringing in. Kind of fun, novel idea, having to use coolers in the middle of the ice sheet. But details, these things happen. We will get Terra to urgently haul the drills over, and then off the back of that, I think that we just chuck in the granite walls and hope that we have enough granite to pull the walls off. Actually, and that being said, yeah, we're just going to have to put an extra door in here, methinks. With the sprinklers now finished up, we are going to install them. We're going to need to move this around a little bit to fit them in properly, but they are going to make our crops grow even quicker. So they grow crazy quickly at the moment, but the sprinklers make them grow even faster. Are you going to say how much you increase it by? No, but if we keep an eye, so this will be grown at 280%, and then once the sprinklers start going off, I think it goes up by like another 100%. So yeah, you can stack them and then it just goes crazy quickly. One good thing though about all those corpses, I guess, not freezing and spoiling, other than we do need to turn that down, -19 should be good enough, is they're now being brought over to here so they can be processed down into Chem Fuel. Now we get 50 Chem Fuel per corpse that we break down. I would prefer the dogs eating them because once we break these corpses down, they drop their clothes. Most of the time it's not an issue because we have a bill set up, so we won't allow clean apparel and we don't allow smeltable, and we can just break through them super quickly, which is fine. But sometimes you just get a crazy amount of clothes on the floor, which takes a while to sort through. Yeah, again, not a massive issue, but something to keep an eye out for, which is why we do want another grafter. So it's just a whole bunch at the moment of Micro and Paddock, so he can actually get through and be where he needs to be. Because what he loves to do at the moment is haul things, which I do not have a problem with, he says, whilst just selecting a whole bunch more things to be hauled in. Is we just need him kind of on this, but then I don't want to move his work priorities around, because right now he is the main thing moving this base for us. Terra is doing an awesome job. We did have to tunnel a little bit into the mountain so that we could actually get granite chunks, but now we got those. Basically one granite chunk will create one wall, so it's not a very good conversion rate. These walls are very expensive, but when they work, which they pretty much always do, they are awesome. Saying about what works, let's go drop in some drop pods. Ideally we would like to keep all of the dogs, but there is just so many of them that my PC is not liking it. And do you know what we also won't like is when the security force comes up and wipes us out, which they will. And it's only a matter of time till they attack us because they don't like us, and when they come in, this will be game over. And I was worried at 155% scaling. Now we're on 310, it wouldn't be a fight. It would be like a chihuahua being engaged with a polar bear. Very one-sided. So as we're slowly starting to get the resources, I think it is time we put this dog's leg in. So the way this will work is we'll put an embrasure here. So whilst we're at it, we'll go chuck this in. We're going to put a turret behind there. So anything that comes through this first door is basically just going to get a face full of lead. Then they're going to have to come round here. And then there'll be another embrasure at the top. And we don't want steel embrasures, that'll be super expensive for something that can burn. Then we'll put the reinforced granite walls along here as well. Okay, something is hidden there. Then it'll also come this way, where another embrasure will go. To here. And then it will come back down. And this will make the travel time a little bit longer, but that can basically just wipe out all of the tribals that will ever try to go through there. These military turrets are insane, and they are super tough against bows and arrows. Only thing that will cause them a problem is if they start using their explosive packs. That would do it, that would get through. And also let's go drop in our drop pods so that we can start sending some of the puppies across to the security force. Thankfully, we just caught this in time. So we got the coolers here, but obviously they kick out the hot air. Now, these blaze bulbs don't like getting too hot. If they go above 28 degrees, they catch fire. Right. So we've got a little bit of time to solve this. I'm wondering if we can remove the roof area on this bit. I'm hoping we can. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put some coolers in. And in the meantime, let's uninstall these and hope that sorts this out. Okay, uninstall heater. And maybe, in fact, just because time's against us, put these in the meantime and deconstruct that. Terra, going to need you on these, mate, and that and that. And hopefully this solves it before things catch fire. Okay, we're holding at 22. Which should be alright. 21 now, fine. Infested ship, crash. Oh, cheers, mate. Nice one, Perry. Ah. Well, that's unpleasant. We do have a bulk's good trader coming in, so I guess it's not all bad news, despite losing a chunk of our base. Insect meat, 19,000. Don't mind if we do. We'll sell everything else off because we don't really need it. You can have the royal insect jelly. Okay, can't even give you all of that. Cool. We'll give you the Chem Fuel. No. But just realised what they do have is steel. Now we can always use steel. We're never going to have too much of that. They've got a bunch of components and advanced components. So let's go pick up 30 of those. Pick up, say, 4 of them. You can have the bison wool, you can have the dog leather, you can have the blue fur. And then the steel, how much do they want? They want 3 for each bit of steel. Let's see if there's anything else we can sell them. Okay, not really going to be able to pick up too much steel. Not the end of the world. We are starting to rack up a decent amount of promethium though. Which, again, really good for us. So what we're getting out of this, we're getting 30 normal components and then another 4 advanced components. Oh, cool. They still owe us money. Let's go buy some steel. 220. Fine. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. This area is somewhat coming along. Not crazy quickly, but we will be there sooner than later. Bioengineering supplier. Let's have a look. Normally it is pretty useless stuff because it's all the insect stuff, which is things that we are not too interested in because we don't want the Slayers going cannibals trying to eat themselves. Yeah, nothing that we want. And thankfully, now holding pretty steady at 21. The other room, not so much. That's what, like 80-ish degrees. So we'll see what happens once that opens and then they start, hopefully, unroofing. Actually, I'm just overcomplicating things. What's the point of moving that wall if the temperature here is holding at 21? We are good. Just realised, seeing as we've got this space here and we're not using it, we are just going to expand that zone so the rest of the mechanoid garbage can go into there for when we get that Promethean bench or Prothean bench. Archotech bench. That's the one. Thinking of the wrong mod list. Yeah, that will go in. That means we can store up like the Geth and any ciphers we come, because they're slowly going to get ruined from being outside, and we could really do with all of the goodies that they are going to drop. At the moment, using the machining bench is a bit of a waste, because once we get the Archotech bench up, we're going to get Archotech fragments, and you get like 2-3 times more than what you do on a machining table. So that's pretty gravy for us. Dogs are moving around, broke down a whole bunch more granite, the corpses and all of the clothes. We do have the blueprints put in for the transport pods, so we can send off some of the pups, because yeah, we got a few too many animals. There's a cat, so let's get rid of that. Not a fan of those creatures. And our defensive line over here is slowly starting to take shape. Let's put the granite wall into here, and then we're also going to need another 2. Yeah, we're still going to need another 2 across there. Awesome. And then it'll come out. So be supported by a turret there, supported by a turret there, supported by a turret there. Then that is just going to be a free run. So nothing fancy. Another 15 marble chunks. We can always use that. All this area now is cleared out, so they do have a runway, and if they break through this wall, well, they've still got a mountain to get through before they can get into our base. And they actually got on that pretty quick, so they've repaired those turrets there, which is obviously a good thing for us. Now, one thing that we did forget is we need to put some power lines in. So through to there, and then we'll connect that up, and then we'll do a little bit more tinkering with this and see where it leads us. Okay, first transport pod is ready, so where are the puppies? We can fit 3. Let's get 4 in. Yeah, that looks good to me. And then they'll get loaded up, and then once they're loaded up, we will send them off to the security force. Then hopefully they don't come in and shoot us all dead, because that's what they're going to do. And Ace Slaver from Grogan Castaways, do you have anything for us? And actually looking from the back is pretty difficult. We'll wait until they come into the base, and then we'll go up and talk to them. Paddock, how do you feel about going on an adventure, buddy? Unfortunately, no Slarians this time. Insect meat is still growing nicely, even though it should be going down, but just the amount of corpses on the map is helping us out quite a lot on that front. And yeah, nothing too much they've got that we want, but we managed to sell them a little bit off for 1,661, I think, along those lines. Anyway, so what we do need to do is get the heavy granite walls, put them into here. What's the best way of doing this? I think we go there, take that out, put this here into the back, then we're going to put 2 more turrets in, and because we have the space, going to put 2 more auto cannons in as well. Now with this wall being here, that is going to stop the auto cannon shooting through and taking these turrets out, and with the wall being on that side, well, the door, that's going to stop the auto cannon shooting through and taking them out. So this thing is going to be able to essentially get anything in this section, and then that is going to basically be able to get anything that tries to poke its head around the corner. Not the best field to fire, but supported by the other 2, or the other 4, so 2 on this side, 2 on that side, we are starting to get a pretty dangerous gun line set. And I think with that is a good place to wrap up the episode. So thank you very much for watching the STG Ice Sheet. I have been Conzi. All your likes, comments, sub support have been amazing. You guys are awesome. You know what you need to do for the algorithm. And I'll catch you on the next one.